All right. Temur Electro Balance. Electro As Foretold Balance. This is a build that we have played somewhat recently. That went the games went all right in terms of success, but the games were fun and interesting. So the person who submitted it asked if they could submit it again, and I was fine with the run back. So As Foretold and Electrodominance allow us to cast spells rather than paying their mana cost, and these work with these suspend cards here, in that normally you have to wait for these cards for multiple turns to come off, but with As Foretold and Electro Balance, we kind of cheat them out into play. Past that, we've got Greater Gargadon, which pairs well with our balance effect. So this is a card that we suspend, that rather than cheating into play, we're interested in its ability. So we can sacrifice artifact, creature, or land to take time counters off of this. And this is useful with Restore Balance because Greater Gargadon lets us sacrifice all of our lands, and then we restore balance and take all of our opponent's lands away. So let's go ahead and dive on into a Constructed League with this one and see how it goes. You see my deck submission for Menace Tribal. You haven't seen a keyword yet. You were probably the person who, when I responded to their email address, their email provider asked me to, like, sign up to be on a guest list to email them or something, some kind of nonsense like that. Is that possible, Cheetos? I sent out emails last night to everybody that had on the list, and one of them bounced me back something saying in order to get my message through, I was going to have to, like, sign up for some kind of waiting list or something like that, which I did not take the time to do. If that was not your email that did that, I would recommend checking your spam folder. Sometimes my automatic message goes to people's spam folders, I've been told. But I don't have any submissions in my thing that I have not sent emails back to at the moment. Everybody's gotten a message. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and keep this one, I guess. We'll bottom a Blast Zone here. 47 months of providing meals for Declan. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. That might not have been you two. I send a lot of emails out, so. Turn 1 Silent Clearing, Thoughtseize. Likely a Mardu Shadow variant, but could be a bit of a brew as well. Alright, well. Good old Thoughtseize bug. I'm just going to go ahead and suspend the Ancestral Visions on one here, I think. I mean, they could be a token stack. There's a lot of people that play various brews in Modern. Yeah, Stoneforge. Stoneforge means they are likely not a Death Shadow variant, because if they were a Death Shadow variant, they wouldn't be playing Batter Skull almost assuredly. I'm gonna bottom both of these. We're looking for a red source and a balance effect here. There's a red source. Neither of those are a balance effect. Want to be able to take their creatures out. Sounds good, Cheetos. I'll send you an email after I'm done today. So they're gonna get to put Batterskull into play here. So it's like, do I play Wrenn and Six out and just let it die? I think the answer might be yes. Just like, hey, look, a distraction, draw a land. It's like gain 4, draw a card. That card's guaranteed to be a land, but it's still a card I'll take. We've got AV coming off in 2 turns, so guaranteeing my land drops and keeping my health total a little bit high for that purpose seems reasonable. The souls, they linger, chat. Okay. That's a good one. I think my plan here is to do this. My plan is to do this during their draw step before I draw these cards. So I'm going to go ahead and suspend this. And then I'll put a stop on my opponent's turn. No, I don't want to do it in response to the fetch. So I want to suspend this so I can have it later. And then if I do this on their draw step, I get to get a card out of their hand too. Because I'm gonna go down to 1 card. So I'll hit them for 1. And then we're not gonna lose. They're not gonna lose any lands, obviously, but I get to kill their creatures and make them discard a card here, and then I'm drawing 3 extra cards next turn. So I think this exchange is decent for us. Even with the Batter Skull and the Lingering Souls left over, I feel like we have an okay shot here with the Crashing and the AV coming off here shortly. Yeah, then they get to keep a card in their hand, which I think is worse. I think I'd rather take them on delay. I think the play here is Wrenn and Six, kill a spirit token. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's bottom this, top this, and yeah, I'm gonna Wrenn and Six, shoot a spirit token, and hope they brick on a land, I think. And then I'm actually gonna go ahead and Serum Visions here again, so this way in case they... Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I think I just keep both of these, huh? This is the drawback to putting the Ancestral Visions on top. And drawing it last turn, they'd be able to discard spell. I get to do this and pick up a land here. And then if our opponent bounces his Batter Skull and then draws a land, we can Spell Pierce it with the Izzet Charm on the way back down, which would be great. Would be ideal. I might fetch and clear this Restore Balance off the top of our deck here. Just concedes, sure. Ancient Grudge, probably fine against the Stoneforge Mystic deck. Am I interested in angering? Is this against the discard deck? Sure. What are we cutting here? Simian Spirit Guide, probably a fine trim in the interactive matchups. I feel like I'm in for anger. At least one. Let's try this. Our deck's got a pretty proactive game plan, so when in doubt, less is more. That seems fine. Anything that has like lands and spells those lands cast is mostly a keep against matchups where your opponent's going to be discard spelling you. Like, if you're not happy with the contents of your hand and you mulligan, and your opponent's just going to like hit you with a discard spell, and then you're still not going to be happy with the contents of your hand, so you might as well just like keep hands that have lands in them and hope to draw good spells. Is about how it works. I think it was pretty safe to assume we were going to get hit by a second Thoughtseize here, just because they took the card we had two of. Ryojan, thanks for the quarter view. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm sorry, Mr. 3000. I must have missed it. Add what to historic? Blue Red Flash historic? Oh, there was a donation message. Sure. Yep. As long as there's a comment. Thanks for everything you do. Yep. Okay. I'll make a note. Stoneforge Mystic. Yep, can't counter that one. This one only counters non-creature spells, but we can let this resolve and then kill it afterwards. No, I appreciate it. Thanks for keeping me around. So I get to kill this, and then unless they have a second one, they can't really play the Batterskull for a while, which is great. It's a good pickup too. I'm just gonna go ahead and suspend the Crashing Foothills here. I could like hope to get lucky and draw a thing, but I'd rather just take it guaranteed in a few turns down the line here. Hey, I have two things that are good against your Batterskull. Your choice. Nah, just a black-white tokens deck. Like, again, one of the headlining things about Modern, if you haven't played a lot of it, is that, like, anything resembling a black fair deck in this format plays at usually between 4 and 8 one-mana discard spells. It's just optimal to do so. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it's probably correct to lean closer to 8. I agree with that. That is suspend. I'm gonna go top here. I think I should keep the Wrenn and Six because it can help me keep tokens off my back. I think asking for the opinion of a random person who's streaming video games on Twitch as to what the World Health Organization should be doing is very silly. And if you think whatever response a random person on Twitch was willing to give you would be a reasonable thing to base anything off of, I'd encourage you to stop it and get some help. Who do we trust more, Twitch chat or our current cabinet? It's funny because it's terrifying. Oh, this was a politics stream with a side of MTG. Yeah, but politics as a whole and the people that participate in it would be a much better place if people would just flipping say, hey, I'm not qualified to talk about that. Hey, I'm not going to give an opinion on that because I shouldn't give an opinion on that. Like that's like a fundamental problem with the society in which we live. Well, so that's part of the problem, though, German Space Ace. Like, that question is what's often posed as a politics discussion. And the reason why things like that are political is because science, especially in the United States, has been turned into a political institution. Questions that we should be deferring to doctors to make decisions on and deferring to climate scientists to make decisions on are being made by politicians who are not qualified to make reasonable conclusions with regards to them. There's a good chance that, like, these cards are in my opponent's sideboard, and they just, like, have things like Fatal Push and Path to Exile in their main deck that just, like, really don't have a text box against us. So, like, they boarded these in because they're better than nothing. Like, they're the best of the bad choices. Like, a threat here is much better for them than, like, a random removal spell on average, right? Was it correct to burn the second Wrenn? So I'm going to give you a timeout because you have a mod sword. So again, if you think I should be doing something different, don't say, hey, Jeff, do you think it's better to do this thing you clearly didn't do? Because guess what? I clearly don't think that is the better choice because I didn't do it. There's a small subsegment where I missed the play you're suggesting, but generally speaking, if I didn't make the play, it's because I don't think it's the better play. So rather than having me say, no, you're stupid, instead say, hey, Jeff, this is why this other play is better, and we can have a discussion about it. But don't make me lecture you like I just did. Put some critical thinking in. I believe in you. I have no idea what day it is anymore, but at least we have quality content. Thanks for 16 months, Tapland. Thanks for 19 months, Mikey. Someone said it best the other day on stream. There are only 3 days anymore. Today, tomorrow, and yesterday. Everything else is a lie. I don't believe it yesterday. Yesterday was last month, but it was there, I promise you. Thanks for being here, Gorks. Thanks for keeping me around over the years. Is tomorrow even real? Here's hoping. Fonsetti, thank you for the 15 months. Welcome back. What is a month anyways? That's true, right? Asking the real questions. Thanks for the 22 months to Turtle Witness. So I picked up a second solid state drive so I can see if it's a Linux problem that keeps causing my internet to randomly disconnect. So I'm going to dual boot my system with Windows. And I found out that to access the second M2 port on my motherboard, I have to like pull my entire system apart and like pull the graphics card out. So it's gonna be a chore. That'll be a project for Tuesday. So I kept the Forgotten Cave on top of my deck here because of this play here. I get to cycle it, and then I get to pick this back up. Okay. So they're dead, right? We go suspend Gargadon, eat this, eat every land I have, cast Restore Balance, they lose everything. Nice fair deck. My opponent brought a Thoughtseize to a combo fight, chat. My opponent brought a Thoughtseize to a combo fight. Should float because, man, I'm gonna give you a 10-minute timeout because my opponent was tapped out. So don't actually. Opponent played 3 discard spells and a Pressurist. Yeah, and honestly, this archetype is like pretty good against discard spells off the top, just because like you have these draw 3s, right? And like Wrenn and Six draws a bunch of cards, stuff like that. I'm not convinced this Blast Zone is good. I feel like I could be convinced that this should just be something else. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this and just suspend Ancestral Visions on one. Yeah, I feel like we just have such a low land count. I feel like if I wanted another cheeky card with Wrenn and Six, I'd rather just have another cycle land. Watching you play Modern against fair decks reminds me of the scene in The Dark Knight where Two-Face is arguing about being honest, people being honest in a dishonest world. Poor black-white tokens player, yep. How could you know? How could you know? Oh. Oh, opponent. Oh. Oh, opponent. Bless your heart. Voice of Resurgence. I think I'm just suspending. Do I suspend the other AV or do I just cycle the cave here? I feel like against a Voice of Resurgence deck, I'm likely going to be able to survive to get this unsuspended. So I think I just get this going. I think I want to hold the Electrodominance to be able to like balance them or something. I don't think I want both of those. They could be Kiki Gording here. You're not wrong. Main deck Dromoka's Command. Dromoka's Command, probably some kind of zoo variation, huh? Are they about to Kessig Wolf Run and kill our Wrenn and Six? You got it, friendo. You got it. With your powers combined, they're a Knight of the Reliquary deck, right? That's what's going on. They're totes another Reliquary deck. So I think my plan here is to... I think I just pass, and then I plan to, like, balance in response to my fetch land to take 2 of their lands away here. And it doesn't matter if I do this on their turn, because the token they make is going to die to the balance. Okay, so how this works is, to start, I'm going to pitch the Spirit Guide and cycle this. Okay, and then I'm going to crack this fetch land, and then in response to my own fetch land, so I'm temporarily down a land, temporarily embarrassed Millionaire. I'm going to go ahead and Electrodominance their face for 1. They get a token, whatever. I cast Restore Balance. So they get a couple of tokens. Restore Balance happens. They lose everything except they'll get 1 voice token left over. They'll have to sacrifice 2 lands. And then we're going to draw 3 cards next turn and 3 cards the turn after that. So my opponent's bear deck concedes. All right, good beats, good beats. Anger of the Gods sounds good. Oh, I could have responded to the cycle too. Yeah, good call. 10 out of 10 should have responded to me cycling as well. Yeah, and they would have had to discard a card from their hand. It didn't matter because they conceded, but I appreciate you pointing that out. You're super right. Definitely could have responded to me cycling also. I saw the line with the fetch. I missed that one. All right, so... Is this a Blood Moon matchup? Probably not on the draw. I might board this in on the play. We'll see. I get a better look. They could have basics. Red's one of their colors. I'm just gonna cut 2 Spirit Guides for 2 Angers here, I think. Again, in the fair matchups, this is more a card for when you're racing. So in the fair matchups, we tend to trim that card. I don't think I want Fry. I'm just gonna click submit. We'll lean on Angers and what's it called to rebalance it to keep things in check. Yeah, this deck's got a lot of novelty to it. It's super sweet. All right, I think we keep this and bottom an As Foretold and just hope to draw red source. Do you think you would still stream if money became a non-issue for you? Yeah, I don't think I'd stream full-time, though. I'd probably, hey Jackie, thanks for the using those, cashing those points in. I think I'd probably stream like 10, 15, 20 hours a week instead of the 30 to 40 that I do. But I would, I mean, I was streaming even when it didn't make money. Like, nobody really goes into this, nobody reasonable goes into this expecting it to be a job. Because the reality of it becoming a job is just like non-existent for most people in places. Like, that's just not how this industry works. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just like Wrenn and Six, kill their noble hierarchy here. I don't have a fetch land in sight, so might as well just like kill your thing. Hey, look at distraction for a turn. Nice, Keva. Yeah, there's no rush. There's no limit on Shillionaire status. I assume a year or 2 years from now there'll be a number of people in the Shillionaires Club and the subs Discord. Perfect. So, next turn, we're going to sack all of our lands and cast Restore Balance. Rats. That's a good one. Looking for an Electro Balance. Bottom. I think I top. I think I have time. I have time to do that. They have no cards in hand. So like if I can find a way to cast this balance, I can take them down to just literal nothing. Need another As Foretold or a Electrodominance. Yikes. Alright, got one more draw next turn. Thanks for the 27 months, Phyrexian Fox. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So I can unsuspend the Gargadon to block the Knight, and I can anger the rest. Do I want to suspend Crashing Foothills here too? Probably, because I need to sacrifice a bunch of lands to get the thing into play. So having this as a follow-up down the line sounds really appealing. Casting off Suspend ignores timing restrictions. Alright, unless they drew a Path to Exile, they've activated our trap card. Gotta go down to one land, but I'm gonna have a 9/7, and they're gonna have nothing. Alright, if they draw a brick this turn and they have a brick the following turn, we kill them in 2. Okay, we're at 3, we're not at 2. So if they draw a brick next turn, they're dead. We just need one brick out of them. been a clutch game. Got pretty unfortunate when they had the knight. It's a blocker, rats. And then we die next turn to the Clothis, unfortunately. So needed to hit, and then we didn't, and then they drew this off the top into that. So did they have many basics that game? I feel like they didn't, right? I'm board in the Blood Moon's on the play. It'll be okay. If it ends up not being good, we'll just loot it away. It'll be fine. I'd rather have Fry. And just coward split him. Whatever. I don't know. This little detail probably doesn't matter a whole lot. So I got through all of 2019 without having to buy Magic Online tickets. Like, I bought some tickets at the end of 2018, and those tickets lasted me throughout the entire year in 2019. And then I bought $100 in tickets like last month, and they're almost gone now. Because Pioneer's been such a dumpster fire. We're finally through the backlog of terrible Pioneer decks, though, so hopefully I'll stop hemorrhaging. That was also part of the reason why I upped the price on Moto submissions. We've just been losing so much money at, like, doing $25 submissions. With the time it takes to play a Moto submission, ends up making less than an arena deck at $25. Is it not submitting? Am I disconnected? Like, my submit button is not lit up here. I'm gonna restart my Magic Online client real quick here. I think there's a chance I'm disconnected. These folks are great. Buy their stuff. Wizards have been making quality software for decades, chat. I mean, to be fair, Magic Arena also doesn't tell you when you're disconnected. It also just makes you sit there and guess. Yeah, but I resubmitted it, Kane, and usually the button grays out. Usually the button grays out. It's taking forever every time I click a button to do anything. Y'all see me okay, right? Like, you're not having an issue. I'm not dropping any frames to Twitch, so I assume my internet connection's okay. Yeah, must just be Moto having a bad time. I mean, this is 100% a Magic Online issue. I have fiber internet, so other people using the service doesn't really impact me. I think I'd rather lead on Serum Visions over Astrolabe here, or Astrolabe over Serum Visions here, because I know I'm going to be fetching the next 2 turns, so I want to ideally, like, wait to shuffle things back in. Wrenn and Six. All right, so this turn, I'm going to try and find something good to do with... Actually, this turn I'm going to Serum Visions, because if I find a Restore Balance like that, I get to suspend Gargadon here, and then next turn I get to go As Foretold, sack my lands, kill your lands and your creatures. Your internet may be fiber, but the 800 baud modem at Wizards HQ ain't that the truth? Okay, so again, this is just like, you know, they brought a fair deck to a combo fest. So I get to do this. I get to go, hey, sack this land, hey, sack this land, hey, sack this land, cast this with this. They lose their board, they discard 2 cards, go. Both teams tried hard. Yeah, something like that. The game's not just over. They've still got some play to them, right? If they have like a disenchant here, for instance, they go land, kill my As Foretold, we like have a real game still, right? Oh, they don't have a second land? Okay, yeah, they're probably pretty dead. I did top Wrenn off that Serum Visions. Sick. All right, and then Crashing Foothills here closes the game out right quick. So we're going to cast this off of lands. And then one of the really sweet things about As Foretold is As Foretold works on each player's turn. So I actually get to hold up this Izzet Charm on their turn with the As Foretold, which is great. This is not templated like Fires. It feels like Fires, but it's not. I think I'd rather just counter that and keep both my 4/4s because they're dead, right? They're actually just dead. This is 8/17. Bye, friend. Do 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 do. I might have to put a page of modern decks back up on the website again here after we've played a little bit more of the format. Most of my old pages are useless at this point because a lot of the videos and deck lists like predate the Faithless Looting ban, which is a while ago at this point, but like something like this, the latest iteration of Kiki Chord that we played once or twice. We had a good run with humans. I don't have to get rid of the Pioneer page. Like, maintaining the Pioneer page isn't that big of a deal. There aren't that many decks up there. Like, just have a small collection on each page. Field of the Dead. Alright, so these restore balances are probably about to be great. Hold up, Izzet Charm here, although I might just be looting with it. Field of the Dead likely means some kind of Primeval Titan deck. Could be Valakut, could be Amulet. I think I actually just let this resolve, and I'm just gonna go ahead and draw 2, discard 2. So if we draw a Greater Gargadon, we're likely be in a position to win the game. Yeah, I could definitely put up a... These are... I have all my old Modern pages still up there. There's like an Others tab where like I have older pages up there still. So I could see that being useful in the long term. Yes, Barseek is usually indicative of Valakut as opposed to Steve 2. Although it looks like they're Bring to Lightscape Shift maybe, which is probably a lot harder for us, honestly. Because they can be interactive. Yep. Wrenn and Six is great here. We could pick the Forgotten Cave back up and start drawing 2 cards per turn. Yeah, looks like they're Bring to Lightscape Shift. Yep, yeah, and with the Spirit Guide, we're basically just gonna leave these 3 cards tucked over here. This is like our break glass in case of emergency. And like with the Forgotten Cave going, it just like looks like we're holding up Forgotten Cave, which is great. It's not abundantly clear from my sequencing. Okay. I don't know if they're the counterspell based build. Like it doesn't look like they're the counterspell based build based on what they've done so far. It's Bant Wargate. Okay, Trenton. Thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Let's pick back up Forgotten Cave. I think we might even be, like, main phase. I think I might draw step, make them sad. I think is my plan. Let's get you a sword, Trenton. So I think during their draw step, we'll crack my fetch, cycle my Forgotten Cave, respond with Electro Balanced Restore. And then they'll lose all but 3 lands. They'll lose their zombies. And I won't have to discard any cards. Oh, I should have suspended Foothills. Yeah, I don't need this land, right? Yeah, I missed that. I missed suspending Foothills. I could have made them discard 2. Dispute. I caught the cycle in response that time, and while catching that I should be cycling in response, I missed that. So I could have also made them discard a card, because I could have suspended this and did not dealt the damage to them. So they should be down to 2 cards here, but I missed it. So they're going to sacrifice down to 3 lands. Their hands will stay the same. They'll lose their zombies. And then especially with the second balance in hand, I just need to find my way to like an Electro balance or an As Foretold to load up on it. And I've got Serum Visions here and I'm drawing a card with this cave, and like Wrenn and Six is going to keep drawing me cards with the cave. We should be in a pretty good spot to win this game. I'm upset with myself that I missed this. It's unfortunate. That's a great draw. Start with this and see where we go. Another Electrodominance. That's fine. Is it fine? Yeah, I guess we are just looking for Gargantuan, aren't we? Gargantuan just like locks the game up. Yeah, let's just dig for that. It might be right to not play the land, but I can always fetch and fail to find, so like, that's fine. Morning, Dwight. And I don't think I want to just trade. I don't think I want to just trade the dominance for their Dryad here. I don't think that's a good exchange for me. Do they have another Hour of Promise here? Oh, they have Primeval Titan. Am I dead? Yeah, I think we're dead, right? Because they're going to get double Valakut and kill us. So I should have held up Electro. I punted. Yeah, if I would have held this up, I would have won this game. Not close. There's really no reason to be suspending things there. Should have just held that up. Abrade doesn't do much. Izzet Charm's kind of whatever. Rest of this seems fine. Yeah, I mentioned my Crashing Foothills. We'll keep the Izzet Charm salute. This matchup should be pretty good for us. I definitely took that game and spiked it into the dumpster can, garbage can. Their last two cards were like pretty perfect. I guess only one of them was perfect, 'cause, right, one was just a land. But I definitely could have played around them having Primeval Titan. Even before we get the Blood Moons post board here, like, the balance is the main deck. I'm kind of upset with myself that I messed that one up. I don't know where the jargon punted originated from. It just means you messed up though. It's a family. It's a PG way to say you messed up. Nah, that's a cop out for Phyrexian Fox. Like, saying there was nothing I could have done in a game where there was like 6 different things I could have done is like a huge cop out. I prefer to have much more accountability than that. Writing off games like that last one as there was nothing you could do is a good way to never get better as a Magic player. It's a really good expected expected value things, like what's the upside of suspending the extra card there? The upside of suspending the Crashing Foothills is minimal, and the downside is I lose the game. So like, even if I don't know their deck list, like, you can expect that, like, the downside of like being able to lose from there versus the upside of, like, you compare what the downside is with the downside, what the upside is with the downside of being wrong, and like, it's just like not a good value proposition. From a pure game theory perspective, this hand's great. Just needs a Gargadon to be like the Stone Cold Nuts. And play to win is you're using your jargon wrong. Play to win is when you take a percentage play that is means you lose the game, but you're setting yourself up in a position. You lose the game if you're wrong, but you're setting yourself up in a position to get the best chance to win the game. So it doesn't really apply to the situation which we're currently discussing. There's not a technical term for just like making the bad play sometimes. Sometimes you just made a bad. You did a stupid. I wonder if there's merit to holding my As Foretold. Is there merit to holding the As Foretold so that way they don't get a chance to destroy it? I feel like there is. I feel like I just wanna Astrolabe. Because like, especially post-board, I kind of expect them to have like naturalize effects in their deck. And then I think we're going to go ahead and just like draw 2, discard 2 here. We're just looking for Greater Gargadon. Should there be 4 Gargadons in this 75? Is it possible the 4th Gargadon's better than the 4th Crashing Foothills? I feel like there's a chance that's the case. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. I didn't have enough repetitions, and I feel like from playing these games that's probably the cut. Or like maybe we just get rid of the cheeky Abrade. Yeah, we've really been looking for Gargadon in a lot of these games. Like Gargadon is like the droid I'm looking for. The cycle lands with Wrenn and Six have also been excellent. I feel like I want that. Why not get a shock land? We can get a basic mountain and still cast our spells. It just doesn't matter. I'm not playing around skip shift. I'm gonna fetch enough that's irrelevant. With Wrenn and Six, we're gonna be fetching a lot. Perfect. All right, so the game is likely over if we play our cards right. So let's ditch. I think I discard. Do I discard the Foothills here? Or maybe I just bin a land because Wrenn and Six can get my lands back. I'm also going to have to discard cards once I get going. So we're going to sacrifice all of these. Hey, Germ. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. As a heads up, if you don't always get your emails from Twitch, I also tweet when I go live, and in the subscriber Discord server, I tag Pete at everyone when I go live. And myself and my wife are the only people who can tag everyone in the Discord server, so you don't get spammed like a lot of other large Discord servers. I almost feel like CCBM that the solution to that is more ways to loot as opposed to less Gargadons. Like, if we're worried about drawing Gargadon and having it be dead, I feel like the appropriate answer is maybe we cut the Abrade and the Crashing Foothills and we play 4th Gargadon and 4th Izzet Charm. Doesn't seem unreasonable. Izzet Charm just drawing 2 and discarding 2's also been stellar because we don't mind being down cards between Ancestral Visions and Restore Balance, like balancing things back out. Getting Temur 4-ofs in the 75 is also a good idea too. Just like, obviously it means we're focusing in on like what cards are actually good and what aren't. You just play Faithless Looting? Exactly. Huh? I'm gonna keep this. Does Restore Balance count towards Gargadon? I don't understand your question. Sick. Alright, so I'm gonna bottom this. I'm gonna bottom both of these, actually. We're looking for a balance at this point. Next turn, I'll get to go suspend Gargadon, play Arcanum's Astrolabe off a basic, and then we'll get to Blood Moon the following turn. Second Misty means I get to fetch another island before we Blood Moon here, which is great. They're going to have some basics on their side of the board too, obviously, but Blood Moon in this matchup isn't strictly to be cutting them off of their color so much as its goal is to cut them off of their powerful lands like Field of the Dead and Valakut. What's going on, Moxane? Yeah, so after Modern, or after Pioneer kind of got, you know, is what it is, I raised the price on Moto submissions and opened it back up for all formats. So Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Pauper, whatever people want to pay to see. Anything goes, essentially. For a while there, I was only taking Pioneer because it was fun and there were a lot of submissions, but once the hype for that died off, you know. The last few times we've actually played Modern, I've enjoyed it more than the last few times we played Pioneer, if I'm being honest. Pioneer kind of feels like it got to a spot where Pioneer feels like it's in a spot where it has the bad things from Modern, but doesn't have the sweet things from Modern. Like, it feels like it has all of the downside with none of the upside, if that makes sense. Alright, so if we draw Restore Balance, we win the game. If we don't, we're probably dead. Really, really unfortunate that I punted the first game pretty badly. If you just resubbed like you did 5 minutes ago, it can take up to an hour or two to the Discord syncs automatically with my subscriber list. So you gotta wait for that to come back up. All right, let's redraw at least. And we're dead. So, lost this match in 3, but threw away the first game. Like I said, I think on average, I expect that matchup to be pretty reasonable for us. We have a lot of good tools for it, but Magic's a game of variance, and if you throw one away, it's going to catch you in one of the others. Why, Seth? Why is that better? You've been playing a variation of the historic Grixis Aggro Pioneer. That's bold. I guess you get Thoughtseize, so like, you know, dealer's choice. We'll go Island Astrolabe here on one. Yeah, right? The hand we kept last game was fine. It had a Blood Moon in it. I just had the counterspell. Eldrazi. So again, just like we're set up with balance, so we're looking for the Gargantuan. I guess this is good in case they play Chalice. Just pass back here. Playing some Legacy, just played turn 1, Grizzlebrand, 2 games in a row. Yep. Fun, healthy, fair. What are my thoughts on the Arena Cube? I think if the Arena Cube gives people another way to enjoy playing Magic, then it's a good thing. Magic's a great game because it's a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And things like Cube are just one of the many great ways to enjoy playing Magic. As someone who's played the Cube, it's well put together and tons of fun to play. The prize support makes no sense at all. Well, I assume the prize support is very top heavy, because that's how Cube prize support. The prize support is probably just medium in general. Is it just bad? Like the prize support for Moto Cube is always really low because they know Magic players are a bunch of addicts that are going to be there playing regardless. Oh, I should have killed this, right? Yeah, I probably should have abraded that at end of turn. What's the price for Arena Cube? What's my queue look like? Let's say 50. No, he's asking the price to make me play Arena Cube on stream, I believe is what they're asking. Amen. What's the price for Hoagland to play Arena Cube? Alright, glad we kept the Abrade. Opponent correctly identifying what deck we're on here. Yeah, I believe the reasoning for it being sealed is that they didn't expect to be able to provide a good experience drafting with bots, and they don't have human drafting yet. So it's sealed so they could get it up right away to give people most of a feature that they probably want. All right, do I just like draw step, kill their creature, kill 2 of their lands, take 3 cards out of their hand? I feel like that's the play, right? Because I'll be at 5 mana and I can start doing other stuff, hopefully. Noted Geoff, that'll get added after I'm done today. I think that's the play. I think I'm just like draw stepping. So we'll go crack my fetch, crack my fetch, crack my fetch, make red, Electrodominance, cast Restore Balance. They'll discard 3 cards, they'll sack 2 lands, they'll sack their Mana Reshaper. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end it doesn't even matter anymore. Hide your memes, chat. They're coming for our memes. This is the worst match. Can I concede? Do you want me to feel obligated to play it? Because I'm fine going to the 5th one. Who said this? A pandemic is a lot like a forest fire. If caught early, it can be extinguished with limited damage. If it's allowed to smolder undetected, it will grow to an inferno that can quickly spread beyond our ability to control it. George W. Bush in 2005. Yeah. George Bush was just a war criminal, right? He understood at least some science at least. Imagine going back in time and telling people that someday you will miss George W. Bush. Imagine that. Just like, it's a scary time. All right, so I think I'm gonna bottom the Simian. Do I bottom the Simian or the Foothills? I'm gonna bottom the Foothills, actually. And we'll suspend Gargadon here on 1, because the Simian lets me play an As Foretold on 2 if we draw it. Oh yeah, at least a couple of the songs on like Minutes to Midnight growing up were all about the Iraq War, right? At least one of them stands out to me. And I definitely know a lot of the lyrics too. Who's my favorite band? I like a lot of punk pop music. Usually with a strong female vocalist, Paramore comes to mind. Against the Current is another good one. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and draw 2, discard 2 here. Huh? I am not Tuangzi. There's a Pandora internet radio station. If you would like to listen to some of the things that like would come up on my playlist with some frequency, listen to that one. Good lord. Punish for keeping the AV over the Simian Spirit Guide. If we find a mana source, we can win the game. However, we could just get Titan next turn. We could just be dead here. They usually play Valakut, right? Yeah, depending on if they don't lethal us this turn, we can draw a land and then As Foretold win the game. But yeah, they have Valakut. They have Valakut Handwear. So if I just one card off. If I would have kept the Simian Spirit Guide and ditched the Ancestral Visions, and maybe I just should have, because I should have done that because they didn't have time to resolve an AV this game is probably correct. Is likely the reasoning. It's gonna cut 2 Crashing Foothills because they're slow and bring in Blood Moon. In your opinion, does Pioneer have the capacity to kill Modern in paper? No. Magic players need to get over this idea that, like, Magic formats can't coexist. Magic players get so financially invested in the formats that they play that in their mind, if people aren't playing the format that they're playing, they're saying that all the money they've spent to play Modern is wrong, or all the money they've spent to play Pioneer is wrong. Modern's never even gonna end up like Legacy. The only reason Legacy is in the state that it's in is because the reserve list is a giant stain of a mistake that Wizards refuses to undo. Legacy has a bottleneck on how accessible it is and how much it can cost because of the reserve list. Here's something you need to know too. If Goldfish says the Pioneer metagame is 15% inverter, that number is low because MTG Goldfish derives its metagame percentages using artificially diversified MTGO League results, which brings down the percentage of popular decks and brings up the percentage of not popular decks. But it's a good baseline, but you should just know that piece with it. So popular decks are underrepresented, and decks that don't have a lot of presence are overrepresented, the way MTG Goldfish accrues their data. That's just what you need to know. Why do they do the numbers like that? Because Wizards of the Coast provides artificially diversified data, because people that make decisions at Wizards of the Coast think that hiding problems in their format lets them pretend that they don't exist. Goldfish does it because Goldfish appears like they're more of an authority than they actually are if they present their data as pure and good. In my opinion, the way Goldfish presents the data from Wizards of the Coast is intellectually dishonest. I have nothing personal against Seth or anyone that works there, but the way that they present the flawed data that Wizards gives them, and the way they allow it to be easily interpreted by third parties, is wrong, in my opinion. They don't have better data to work with, but they also explicitly don't go out of their way to make it clear to people looking at the data that they have that there's issues with it. So again, I don't expect them to have better data. I do, however, expect anyone that's trying to present data in an honest manner to make it clear what the issues are with what they're working with. And they explicitly do not do that. Well, these are just like the stone cold perfects, huh? Several times over the years, I've tweeted at them or I've tweeted at them suggesting that they put some kind of disclaimer on their pages, but they don't do that because it likely would drive less traffic, because there's a lot of people that go there thinking that it's good. So they have a monetary reason to not be transparent with how their site works. Is reality. Any of the sites that present data from MTG deck dumps as actual metagame percentages. It isn't actually, to be fair too, this isn't a thing that's exclusive to Goldfish. MTG Top 8, Goldfish is just the biggest of them. MTG Top 8 and other places like that do basically the same thing. So here's the question. Do I play Blood Moon this turn, or do I wait a turn so I can get the Electro balance? I think I wait a turn, right? Because I don't think I really need to worry about them tightening me next turn. Morning, Mr. Maple Syrup. Yeah, once upon a time, when we had access to better information, Goldfish did really genuinely good data collection. But then, when we stopped having that good information, they stopped, they didn't stop presenting their information like it was good. I'm gonna fetch Basic Island, and then I'm gonna Blood Moon. And then I can, at any point, sack all of my lands, and then Electrodominance, restore balance here, which is great, as long as I leave 2 up. Yep. Yeah, I do remember that, Kindris. And I was one of the people saying you just need to wait and see. Alright, if they don't have Pact of Negation here, they're dead. Yeah, if they don't have Pact of Negation, they lose. Did you hear about the Arena Cube draft that was unable to end? Both players had Platinum Angels in play with no cards. That's great. It's kind of hilarious. Could they pay for both packs? I don't know, actually. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, yeah, you're right. They don't have 9 mana. So they should just be dead here. Are there not match timers? Could the players not time out? It's best of 1, so there's no timer. That's great. That's fantastic. What a great board. What a great board. I think I'm happy with how I board it. Let's just run it back. Flawless victory. Well, I think I'm keeping this. Like Gargadon balances. I think this is a keep. Truly the way Richard Garfield intended the game to be played. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, swish. All right, so do I think we just suspend on one here? I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to Astrolabe so I can Wrenn and Six on 2. Alright, so we can get Titan next turn. If we draw Electrodominance, we can clear the board, though. I think with this draw, I'm supposed to Astrolabe this turn and then cycle, so that way I could just try and give myself the most chances to hit As Foretold or Electrodominance for next turn. Okay. And then we just like hope we get a next turn. They found a second amulet here, so like there's a very real chance we just die here. They have the what's it called? They have the bouncy land. Shit, we didn't have a spirit guide in this hand. Yeah, for those, if anybody's new to Magic or Modern, Amulet of Vigor with these Karu lands lets them generate a ton of mana. I'm gonna go ahead and cycle this Forgotten Cave and auto pass. Just let them do their thing. This is actually just lethal this turn, right? Probably. I don't know. Let's find out. I mean, I assume they're pacting because we're gonna die. I assume the answer is they're pacting because the game is over. We're dead, right? Because they'll cast a Titan, and then they'll get Teleria West plus another bounce land, and they'll make enough mana to cast another Titan. Because they'll make 6 with that. They'll transmute with this. Yeah, we need one more turn. And this is just how modern and Legacy work these days. Like, it's how Legacy's always worked. It's how Modern's worked for a while now. You just like effectively die in the third turn of the game. And like we're playing a deck that's just like looking to get people too. So yeah, not I don't know. Like I said, this format, we had some fun games in there. I messed up one of our losses. This is a format that's fine in small doses. If I was sitting playing this format all day, getting got on turn 3 in some number of the matches it's frustrating. It's just like, it kind of comes with the territory though. Yeah, this is a format where Birthing Pod and Splinter Twin are still banned. And again, we've talked about this with Pioneer too. In my opinion, one of the greatest failings of Wizards of the Coast R&D and the people that make those decisions isn't that these formats have become combo fests, because I think it's fine to have a format that's combo-centric. It's fine that that's a headlining feature. Their failings, in my opinion, are the fact that as they've printed more offensive and more obnoxious combos into the format, they've not gone back and reassessed sweet cards that they had previously banned. So, like, there's a ton of people out there who would love playing Splinter Twin and would love playing Birthing Pod, and we're just not allowed to, even though they're likely worse than other things are still legal, because the big thing Wizards of the Coast does poorly, in my opinion, is they leave these formats to rot. So they don't manage them to stop them from becoming unfair, but then when they allow them to become unfair, they don't go back and reassess the things that they had previously banned that are now worse than things that are legal. So I wish they would pick a lane. I wish they would either manage the formats or give us back the toys that I would like to play with. Those would be pick one. Don't just waffle in the middle. All right. Anywho, we are going to roll on into some Arena for the rest of today. I'm going to do a quick ad break while I get all my setup here flipped over. I guess to wrap on this, we were ranting about the format as a whole. To wrap on this, I think not having 4 Gargadons is a miss. The person that submitted this said their worry with the Gargadons was not having enough ways to loot it away. I think if that's a consideration, we just go up to 4 Izzet Charm. Izzet Charm was very good at multiple points here. I think my cuts would probably be Crashing Foothills and Abrade for 4th Izzet Charm, 4th Greater Gargadon. And then as far as the mana base goes, Forgotten Cave was like really good with Wrenn and Six at multiple points. I think I'd like another Cycle Land in the mana base. So I think the Blast Zone is really clunky and just kind of too cute with Wrenn and Six. And I think the Cycle Land has a lot more upside. So I think the third change I would make would be to cut the Blast Zone for a second Cycle Land. All right, with that, let's roll into Arena. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.